Hey guys, tmanplays here, coming with another Warno game for you today, and this is part of the Warno monthly tournament for February. Today we're going to be playing Fantyx as the 7th Panzer Division, and he's going to be playing as the 79th Tank Guards. So just before we get started here, I'm going to talk about kind of what I'm thinking with him playing the 79th and just where my units are going to go on the field. So with him playing as the 79th, we know he's going to have strong tanks like T80Us, which are going to be an issue if he gets them into these open spaces. So what we're going to do to counter that is we're going to, not at the start, but later on, we're going to get a bunch of T72s just in good flanking positions like this tree line here. If I'm able to push in this area, we can kind of negate the effect of those T80Us. And we're going to hide back from the tree line here so that if he pushes them aggressively, we can just push him up. And same with this tree line, pull him back here or hide him behind the trees here. If he pushes up the T80Us aggressively, we can just kind of prioritize those and take him out. Also have AT planes, so if he's not paying attention, we can try and take him out that way as well. And because he's going to have the advantage in the open, we're going to prioritize this right-hand side here. Make sure to send forces to push up to the trees, try and take that objective. So just real quick, you see I have a bunch of off clear and special AF clear. Going to be sending one to the building there, one here, which can then push up to this tree line, one to these buildings so it can spot over the open, and then just another that's going to position here and move up to the edge of that tree line. On the left-hand side, just mainly some infantry units, Matschützen and BTRs, an Igla team, and a Flamer team. Pretty much pair the Flamer and the Matschützen to push up along the side there. And in the middle here, just the Conquers and an Igla to sit in these two buildings, negate some of that armor that he's bound to push at us. And then on the right side, just some Flamers, Igla, Matschützen. With the help of the special AF clear, those should be able to easily gain some ground on the side as we have a strong infantry advantage with our flame troopers here. So already spotting some of his recon. Conquers going to be able to fire upon those, take out the UAZ there. And I started with two CVs because I wanted to start with a point lead. So T55 and a SPW. The SPW here just kind of hiding in the corner. Pretty decent line of sight for where it's at, so he can't spot it if he even gets in this tree line here. And the T55, I wanted the tank CV so that if I gain good ground on this right-hand side, I can push up the tank CV, not have to worry about it going down easily. And you'll see our recon now moving through the trees, supported by the grenade launcher. So that way, if we spot any type of Conquer unit or infantry in this building, our grenade launcher unit can be able to assist with that. Also bought a cube in the back because him being 79th will have SU-25 ATs and SU-25 rocket versions. So we want to make sure that he's not flying any of those around our line. So just slowly advancing on the right-hand side here. He does bring in a CV now on the right-hand side of the middle, but we're up a nice 175 points. With these SPWs, you'll see I'm just kind of protecting my reinforcement lane on this left-hand side. This is because if he sneaks any infantry around, I want to know about it. I don't want him to snipe any of these T-72s or infantry units that I'm trying to bring to the front. So it's just kind of to give me an early warning sign of anything that he's flanking around. So because we have all the recon on the front, we're able to kind of spot some Metis units moving up. And with us having the infantry advantage, his RPO unit is nice, but if I can get his RPO to fire at the Matschützen first and then use the Flamer unit, these aren't an issue at all. Same with just any type of armored unit can take out the RPO easily as it doesn't have AT. See on the right here, just disengaging with the BMP. I believe it was being shot at by the T-62 here. So just going to smoke that off, pull it back, let our recon handle the Rozvetka. And here we're going to see some Superi RPO. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull back the Flamer unit Gonna push up the Machutsen so that it wastes all its ammo on the Machutsen, and then we push up the Flamer to finish it off. And you'll see I'm already being very aggressive with the T-55 Fury here. Just marching that straight into his objective. It's going to basically force him to call reinforcements here, which will make my eventual push on this left-hand side easier. So he brought out his CV here to go to the middle. So that's going to allow us to capture this entire zone. Put us at a nice +4. See both infantry units here engaging the Sapuri. And the Iglo team there able to down the helicopter. We do have an Mi-24A version on the left-hand side here, and my Igla a little too far back. So we're going to start pushing that towards the front, but he is able to take out both of my infantry units there. Conquers trying to hit the T-62. Gonna miss though. And now I'm just kind of pulling out of the zone here because he does have the Motoshoki. And since we have it captured, I don't need to have the CV in the zone until he puts a counter CV in. So we're just going to pull that back for safekeeping. Do kind of get shot by the T-62 while we're reversing, but the important thing is because it's this tank CV and it has the 7 front armor, we do end up surviving. So we can just repair that and then push it back in the zone at a later date. So looks like he has the SU-25 coming from my Mi-24D here, so we're going to try and pull that back. And we do have the cubes up though, so that's going to deter that SU-25, send him back home. And we're starting to amass a nice T-72 force on the left-hand side of the objective. That's going to keep him from getting recon in the middle there. And the recon in this building really helping to spot if he's trying to push anything aggressively. So we did end up taking out the Sapuri RPO there. Pushed up some SPW-70s just to scout what else he might have in the zone. And I'm repairing this T-55A so that we can eventually try and capture the zone again. My Iglo team also moved up. Gonna deter that Mi-24. Force him back. And we see he's starting to get some Motoshoki relatively close to my line here. T-80BV, the better tank versus the T-72s. So we're just going to pull these back into this forest line here. Only take favorable engagements when he either gets too close. I tried to rush across the Machus into this building here. Didn't realize this BMP-1G had the grenade launcher with a pretty good line of sight there. So now I'm going to try and deal with that with a T-72, get it close range, and get the one shot on target to take that out. And we're just trying to pull back our recon infantry to survive against this Motoshoki engagement. So T-72, going to be able to get the shot on target there, take that out. And I'm routing this Mi-24D to help deal with this Motoshoki because I'm assuming he doesn't really have any AA close, and if something does fire from this tree line, I can push the T-72 as well as the motorized AFCLR that I'm now moving to this building. So perfectly fine with my status now in the center. You'll see I'm starting to amass some T-72s in this area. Another one coming up shortly. Just in case he does try and push across here, I need to have some type of defense force, as the majority of my forces on the left-hand side are going to see some Conquerors starting to come in for the T-72 here. And my 24D going to be able to take out the infantry very easily. And the first T-80U has now arrived in the center. So we're going to have to start being very careful with our T-72 engagements now. See, I did get a Conquerors in a decent spot just to hit any type of armor he brings in the open. T-62M going to be taking out the SPW-70 there. and now he's starting to push some infantry across. So this is a bit of a mistake for me. I should have had this guy's weapons turned off, because that's just going to make him reveal himself to the Motostoki, and then his support units here going to be able to easily take out my motorized AF-Clear. So you'll see I did now turn off the weapons because I noticed that was how he revealed himself, and I'm trying to pull him back just to get him unspotted there, but it's going to be too late, and his fate has already been sealed. So on the right-hand side, we've got our reinforcements now. A couple BMP-1s with some mod Schutzen. We already have our mod Schutzen Flamer combination. We have Igla support now, and we have the Cubes in the back with some T-72s as well. So our force on the right-hand side looking pretty solid now. Gonna try and get our CV back in there shortly. T-80U engagement with a T-72. I noticed that. Try and pull back the T-72 to keep that from going down there. Need to keep as many of these alive as possible, because the later the game goes, the more of an advantage he's going to have with his heavy armor. Special AF-Clear in a really good spot to just spot all these units that he's bringing. And that just can allow our BMPs to get great fire support shots on all of that infantry. Just because I have the infantry spotted here, trying to get some rockets on target with the Mi-24D. It's just been Iglas that are firing at it, so it can take another Igla shot before I have to pull it back. So we're just being mindful of that and watching that engagement closely. You'll see now we're moving back the T-55A, and I'm going to route these BMP-1s, trying to bring them around the corner of the objective here to basically hit any reinforcing units that he brings. Does have the Mi-24 trying to hit my recon there, so we're gonna have to pull that back for eventual repairs. And now I'm trying to get some recon here to spot anything he might have in these tree lines. And because the Conqueror's firing upon our T-72s, we're just gonna have to pull that back. So now it's in a better line of sight. And our T-72 here with the heavy machine gun, tank gun, and medium machine gun, gonna be able to stun down these Motostoki, pretty much make them useless. And we'll actually end up winning this engagement very easily. Let's see, getting more shots on target, gonna be forcing us to pull that back. And this T-80U pretty much is the big scary unit in the middle. If I can take out these T-80Us, it makes my life a lot easier. I see the BMP-2 kind of pushing across there. I was trying to get a snipe with the T-72, but didn't quite have the line of sight to hit it, and the rockets from the Mi-24 there actually able to take that out. So a bit disappointing. You'll see now that the T-80U is just kind of sitting here spotted. I'm going to buy this Su-22 just to try and take that out. And we spot his command unit on the right-hand side now. So just trying to get these units into better positions. I'm hoping he's not really watching this unit. So, surely enough, Fantyx, though, good player, going to be able to smoke that off. And we're going to try and get out of there as quickly as possible. But he's already got a decent AA set up, so that's going to be 220 points down the drain. So now he's going to pull that T-80U back to a supply vehicle, get more smoke, and my life becomes just a little bit harder. So just some Superi RPO on this left-hand side. Not really worried about this area now because I've already have decent control of it, and I'm not really looking to exploit it as his CV is somewhere on this side. Our main concentration is just holding this right side for as long as possible, keeping our tick continuing as we're already up over 600 points. We just want to maintain this area as long as possible. Motorized AF-Clear finally getting to the front, but getting sniped by the BMP-1 there. It was for this reason that I was bringing up the recon. Sadly, the recon got destroyed before it could unload. So that's gonna just make our vision bad here for the next few minutes. You'll see I did sneak around some BMP-1s here, trying to get him to the rear. Just snipe reinforcing units. He does use a Burrentino strike on our units here on the left. Just going to be able to catch out a T-72 though. I wasn't really stacking too many units in this forest, so it proved to not be a very successful strike for him. See, I'm going to smoke off my T-72 before that Conquerors hits. And with the Superi over here, just push across the T-72 to deal with those Iglis and great spots to just keep away any type of helicopters from being a nuisance to us. And you'll see I have loads of T-72Ms just hiding behind this tree line, waiting for some type of push that he's going to attempt on this side. I'm just feeling like he's going to push this side, so we're just preparing for that push to be able to catch him out. On the right, though, helicopter going to be able to easily deal with my infantry, and all we really have is the Iglis here. I could have potentially pushed up an Eagle here, but I'm just leaving them in these buildings where they don't really have the best line of sight. This one has better line of sight where it can hit helicopters that come along this side, but I can't really deal with the helicopter there. So I am trying to move the SPW-70 just to stress it out, deal some more damage. Grenade launcher. Gonna be firing a little strokey there. Just doing a little bit of stress damage, but that does allow the BMP-1G to spot them, and they're going to start damaging the Special Aufklärer too as they're in the same building. So we don't want that to continue for too long. See this grenade launcher now, able to fire upon them. And you can see how much damage they're actually doing, but with the BMP-2 support there, going to be able to destroy the building, so we're going to have to pull those back. But we are at least able to deal with his infantry that he's trying to push across. Going to support with these T-72s, kind of just give me an idea of what he has there too. I'm not showing my full force either, only pushing up basically 3 of them out of the 7 that we have. So, not showing my full hand. Finally, the helicopter gets in line of sight of my Igla team here. And we're able to take that down. And I'm just pulling back my T-55 to the edge there. So, do have a Conquerors unit as well that's helping with the T-72 engagements. Gonna be able to deal with the 1P there. These T-72s can't quite get line of sight on whatever this tank is that's pushing up. But then he pushes up a little too far. It's just a T-62, and we're easily able to deal with that. T-80, though, whole different story. Instantly whacks this T-72, and you can see the damage we did in return was quite insignificant. So we're going to decide to pull back these T-72s. We want no part of that engagement. We got to wait till he gets super close to us before we can take advantage of that. So you'll see already buying another AT plane. Didn't learn my lesson the first time. Going to decide to try and take it out again. But this time I believe we're actually going to do something a little different. Instead of charging it straight up the middle, we're going to move it to this right-hand side, try and push it up the side, and then come across, hopefully, where his attention's in the middle. He won't have enough time to realize what's happening. And I'm actually going for this T-80 here, because then that'll help my position on this right-hand side some more. And right now, that's my most important zone, as it's allowed me to get 999 points. Conqueror's able to keep the T-80U at bay there. Only 4 out of the 10 hit points, though, have been taken out. So you'll see now moving up this AT plane, trying to find the kill on this T-80 BV. Gonna get a missile off. Do actually get a nice hit there. Leaves it on 1 HP. So you'll see immediately, gonna move this T-72, try and get the final hit on this T-80 BV here. And surely enough, we get the kill. So that's a really nice engagement for me. I was willing to trade my plane for that, because the T-72 on its own would not have been able to kill the BV. And any of these BVs or T-80Us that we can take out leaves a massive advantage to us. So using this T-813 munition struck now just to heal up these T-72s after we engage what my Plan now is just going to be kind of engage whenever we get hit, pull it back, repair, and then just keep engaging. And we're pushing across this T-72 now just to kind of see what he has in this area. We did get up some motorized AFCLAR. Not able to spot the potential Conquerors unit there, though. We see Burrentino strike coming in for the Conquerors and the Igla that I had in this position. Going to be able to easily deal with that, but again, not really an effective strike. Only taking out a Conquerors and an Igla team. So I'm perfectly fine with that. A Burrentino over on this side would have been much more deadly, and that's why I'm kind of keeping all my forces not exactly on the front line, because I do know he has the Burrentino capability. So you're just trying to take out some transports here, try and get some easy wins. I'm not sure how this happened, but somehow my supply vehicle here that was basically full just randomly exploded. Really not sure what happened there. Perhaps a stray missile from something. T-80U, we do get some really nice hits, so you'll see I was attempting to kind of struggling. You know, should I keep pushing that? Should I pull back? Not really sure, but we're just going to decide to pull back because it's only one T-72 left, and we did lose the supply vehicle. So, got to keep as many of those around as possible, even though we did damage that T-80U significantly, but weren't able to kill it. So that's pretty tragic. On the right-hand side, we are getting pushed back, so we're having to build up our force again before we can push back in there. T-72 trying to get some hits on this T-80B with help from the Conquerors. Conquerors does get a nice hit, but both units go down, so he's going to be able to pull that back and repair it. So I basically lose that engagement. So another Su-22M. Trying to come for this T-80BV now, but Fantyx going to spot that early, and I pull it off just a little too late there. And that's another 220 points down the drain. So the AT aircraft not really working besides the one T-80BV on this right-hand side, but we've lost 3 of them at this point, and the trades have not been that great. So Samudra Sapuri, BMP-2, motorized AFCLAR, not really going to be able to deal with that. Going to try and move the Mi-24D there to help with that engagement, but it's going to be preoccupied with the BTR-80. Do have helicopter basically helping to push out some recon that he's getting aggressive with, and Koob's there going to be able to snipe that Su-25 from basically across the map. Kind of shocking that they can actually reach that far, but that is the current state of AA ranges. TO-55 shooting flames, shooting the main tank gun at T-80BV or B, but going down in the end there. He does get very aggressive with this tank CV, but because I don't really have any tanks of my own, I can't really deal with that. And I'm basically keeping this in reserve just in case he decides to get aggressive with a tank or something. So T-80U just kind of sitting there again. Gonna move my Mi-24Ds, try and help with some of these engagements over here. And basically we're starting to become more on the defensive side now. We're over halfway through the game, 23 minutes in at this point. We have a 997 point lead, and we still have a good amount of T-72s up, but we know that our recent plane trades haven't been great. Fantyx possibly on the end of better trades at this point, and we know that his armor force in this area is now considerable from the last engagements that we've sustained, where we've brought his tanks to low HP, but he's been able to pull them back and repair them. So he definitely has the armor advantage at this point, so I need to be very careful with how I'm utilizing my T-72s in return. On the left-hand side, we're still in a decent position. This Strela really should have been swapped for this T-72M, though. Strela a little too far forward there. Try and get another AT plane because I've not learned my lesson at this point yet. Thankfully, this one actually lives, but doesn't really kill anything in return. You'll see targeting this area with the Berantino. This would have been tragic if I just had all my T-72s kind of positioned on this tree line, but playing super safe, keeping them in the open space behind, because you're less likely to Berantino a spot like this, considering he won't be able to see where all these units are. And you'll see the T-72 or the T-80U starting to get a little bit aggressive. I really should have used that opportunity to push up, but we also spot the T-80UD, so that, again, there's not really much I can do in this situation with T-72s, with just 3 of them versus T-80UD there. So you'll see you're going to try and help out now with the Motor Shoki and the BMP-2 just to help out the Special Afclair. Going to move them up, try and get some good shots on target. Are able to take out BMP-2 there. But just the amount of T-80Bs now coming up in the middle is going to be problematic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my left-hand side here, use my T-72M reserves to try and catch out some favorable engagements, as these guys don't really know where to turn their armor. But now the T-80UD going to come to the front, and just one hit from that is going to be absolutely brutal. So we are going to lose the one T-72 there. We are at least forcing him to pull back from this engagement. Do get a nice shot, you know, for 4 damage there. And now we're just trying to pull our units back for repairs. So that will at least force him to kind of pull back his tanks to repair them. Saves us some more time. And right now time is on our side, as there's only 14 minutes left. And we're still at a 997 point lead. Just keeping this side stabilized. Don't want to give him any leeway over here since my CV is in this area. It's very important that I maintain control of this side. And then this side, also very important because it would allow him to push into this zone. So we want to make sure that we're at least providing some type of defense over here. T-80UD is going to get extremely low on health there. Almost able to take that out. See, I'm getting aggressive with the T-72 here because I really want that kill on the UD. Tunguska, though, is also going to be nice to kill. And we're at least going to be able to get that, so that is awesome. Infantry, though, getting weak on this right-hand side, so just moving up some supply trucks to help with that. Not really sure what's spotting this motorized Afclair here, because he shouldn't really be able to see me here unless I can see what recon unit is spotting them. So a little odd there. Not quite sure about that. And then we're going to spot some Razveka of his. However, got a little greedy with the Special Afclair here. This is really just to help me spot any type of tanks or push that he's bringing across. You'll see I'm already ordering another one because I know that their fate has already been sealed. And again, with 12 minutes left, it's all about just being defensive now, as we have the point advantage. So we don't need to do anything crazy to win this game. We just need to keep our forces alive and able to fend off whatever he sends at us. So I do want to keep the pressure up on the right-hand side. So you'll see pretty much most of my points are going to this side over here, including a new tank CV and just a Conqueror's unit that's going to be positioning here that can push up here, get some hits on some of these transports and tanks that are moving up. He does take out my Conqueror's unit here. And we see the T-80B combo here going to be pushing up again. At this point, I'm thinking he's pretty close to having another Berantino strike, so I don't really want to have any forces on the front line. I want to keep everything back until I see that Berantino go, and then I can push up again. We do end up spotting the Razveka here. I believe that was what was spotting the motorized Afclair. Again, though, not really sure why he could spot me and I couldn't see him. But we do at least spot it now, so able to deal with that with the T-72Ms. And just the T-62 and a BMP-2 here. Do take out the T-62. T-72M though on 1 HP, so we're going to pull that back. And we take out the BMP-2 as well, so that's a good engagement for us. Just keeping his armor forces light. Conquer's going to get spotted. Possibly some recon in this tree line from him. And going to have to smoke off this T-72M as another T-80U has now appeared in the middle. So just going to keep my armor together. You see, I am trying to move across some T-72Ms to possibly get some side shots on these units. Just moving them up to have something favorable, but T-80U going to be able to turn its armor, and that's going to prove to be pretty nasty for our T-72M there. Just one hit, bring it down to 1 HP. So we got to wait till that gets a little bit closer. On the right, though, able to sneak in my T-55A, putting me at a +2 again. And you'll see buying another Su-22 AT plane here, because that's about the only way I can see feasible is taking out these T-80Us. Also, really want to take out the command tank there, as it's allowing this T-80U to have full elite veterancy. He is going to smoke that, though. I was hoping he wouldn't smoke the second one, but he did. Going to try and get out the AT plane, but again, that's going to go down to the MiG-31s. So, not trying to focus too hard on planes, but, you know, if we could at least take out one of his T-80Us, that's a big win for us. So you'll see he's going for my CV now. Knows that the CV is somewhere over here. But CV happens to be in a pretty good spot. Maybe could have moved it a little further here, but again, I want the line of sight just to be at the edge of this hill. And I'm moving across some T-72M1s, just because if he gets into this tree line and starts to push, this becomes desperation mode and trying to use as much armor as possible to take out his T-80Us. I'm also bringing up some on this left-hand side so that I can kind of pincer him on all sides. See the BMP-1G, not really going to allow that to come after me. Going to decide now is the time where I really need to push up some of this armor. I spot the T-80U here, engaging it frontally, move up the T-72M from the side, able to get perfect line of sight, and we're going to hit that from the side, destroy that. That's a great win for me. That's going to make his push towards my CV a lot harder. The Mi-24, though, was able to actually spot my CV. And you'll see it just, AT plane really let me down there with a straight whiff on the T-80B. I am going to be able to keep it up, though, trying to come back for the T-80UD. And the Su-22 ends up redeeming itself with a great hit on that UD. So I was pulling back on my T-72s, but now we're going to push those aggressively. He does end up having smoke, though, so he's able to save that T-80U. And our Su-22 actually does make it out alive there. Su-25, though, because of this Mi-24V, going to be able to spot the CV, take that out. That puts him at a +3. So trying to help with this T-80BB engagement. We do end up getting a turn stuck, though, and we get shot from the side there. That's going to prove absolutely fatal. With the 3 T-72Ms here, hoping that that's enough to really stun down this BV and take it out. So we're just going to auto lock onto that. Getting some great hits. Going to take that out. Now with the Su-25 coming back, going to smoke all these guys and then pull them back to the supply vehicle for repairs. Cubs still reloading, so not able to deal with the Su-25 rocket. And Fantyx now knows that he needs to capture another one of my zones to put him at a higher tick rate with only 6 minutes left. That's the only way he's going to be able to win. But by this time, I've already snuck in another CV into the point. Going to stop that tick. So on the right-hand side here, still have a decent position. We're just playing defensive now. At this point, though, I don't need to push any further. And all these engagements here are the most important. So do take out another T80B there. Taking out some of these BMP2s. See the T80BV here. Just keeping my units alive and healed up and not taking too many bad engagements here. Trying to only take out the best engagements that we can, because we are starting to run low on our T72 numbers. And you'll see now I'm positioning some Conquerors on this side, as well as another T72, just to help control his movements. So do some significant damage to that T62 there, but T80B gonna be able to hit that. And you'll see now we only have the one T72 left on this engagement area, and the two on this left-hand side are bringing up some more in reserve. But it's all about just holding this ridge line, keeping him away from my back point. Just trying to hold on for dear life. So I do have another T72 coming in just to cap his zone, force him to spend more points on this side, because I know he's pushing extremely heavy in the middle, and that this, if I can sneak this into his zone, at least distracts him for a little bit. Helps me out with my defense more. So helicopter is going to be a great tool just to deal with any of the infantry that he's pushing across. See just the hit there. Going to do a lot of damage, as this only has the 15 front armor. And we're just going to have to smoke that off and pull it back. To get a nice kill on his helicopter there. And at this point, with only the two T-72s basically operational in the middle here, we're trying to keep him at bay with our Mi-24P. Stun him down with the rockets, and then pull them to the supply vehicle for repairs. Did try and get a little aggressive with that T-72 there and the other one, and they both end up going down. So now we have absolutely nothing holding this flank, except for the 3 Manschützen, which I am going to start to pivot towards my CV just to keep this alive as long as possible. But again, with 2 minutes left, it's looking highly likely that we should be able to win this. At this point, he would have to capture all my zones, and at that point, I still don't think it's enough. Do end up taking out T-80UD there with the T-72M, shooting it from the rear. And the Manschützen gonna be able to just hold him at bay. Coob gonna be trying to hit the Su-25 rocket. Pretty much missing everything. So 6 shots, all missed on the Su-25 there. That's just some bad luck. But now our Manschützen gonna be able to start putting shots on the UD, and we end up actually taking that out. Tried to get a shot with the ATSU there, but lose line of sight, End up spotting him again, though. And by this point, he's routed. And we end up taking out the other UD. Have pretty much nothing left on this side, but it's going to be a little too late for him to push in. And we get another T-72 command in the objective, just to make sure that we don't lose it. So yeah, end up winning the game. Pretty even on traits there. Fantyx, really good player, and GG's to him. But yeah, that's all for today. I'll post game 2 shortly, and I'll see y'all there later.